Bread4Soul is a music entity dedicated to making a positive impact on lives through the infectious rhythms and uplifting sounds of house music. Founded by a passionate group of music enthusiasts, Bread4Soul aims to create an inclusive community that sort of celebrates the power of music as a unifying force. At the heart of Bread4Soul is the belief that house music transcends borders and connects people across diverse backgrounds. Founders of the entity, Sir LSG and his partner, SoulDiva, join us this morning to tell us more. Very good morning to you two. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Let's talk about how your personal journeys led to you co-founding Bread4Soul.
So this was initially a mix podcast where we would release DJ mixes every month and kind of grew into now what it is. Like, we've got this massive event called Bread4Soul Sessions, and it's been growing leap by leap. You know, we've been doing it since 2012. 2012 as a mix podcast, and then started doing this event in 2022. And yeah, the support has been amazing for it.
And I must say that he left the part where during COVID, we did Bread4Soul Convos, which were interviews. We would interview artists, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, during COVID, online, yeah.
Right. What was the overall vision for this entity? And just looking back, more than 10 years later, do you feel that you have achieved what you set out to achieve when you initially started?
I think you must answer.
Well, the thing is, we've been kind of taking other things on as it goes. You know, like, it's like it was a mixed podcast. Then we did the COVID interviews, you know, which were mainly about helping, sharing information with aspiring artists, and so inviting legendary artists to share their stories of how they came, you know, into the scene, and now taking it into an event space and also a record label space. So it keeps on evolving as time goes, and we are just like the custodians of whatever comes through that can assist other people, that can help us build platforms. So that's what we do.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that you say that. It leads to my next question. What kind of impact that Bread4Soul would have, since inception? What is it that you want to do in terms of helping other people and other artists?
Okay, I would say that we are putting on or giving a platform to upcoming artists. You know, I know, especially on the female DJ side, it's very difficult for them to get what do you call it?
Recognition,
and you know, platforms. So I feel that it's my responsibility to put them on, to give them that platform. And Bread4Soul.
Like, and just taking stock, you know, in terms of just taking stock and analyzing, the kind of work that you've done. Do you feel that the artists that have been on your platform did eventually get the recognition that they deserved and wanted?
Yeah, I mean, like, when you perform at Bread4Soul, you're performing for music lovers, you know, and the Bread4Soul crowd, breadwinners as we call them, they're really well informed with house music, and they just want a space where they can be together. It's a very good energy space to perform. So there's a lot of demand, even for artists, to want to perform on the Bread4Soul stage. Just like from between 2022 and end of 2023, we had booked almost over 100 DJs and artists locally, you know, where we were not even repeating any artists, because there's so much talent in South Africa, you know, and there's unfortunately not enough platforms like what we do. And how do you engage with the artist and your community, you know, to sort of ensure that your music and your initiatives resonate with them? I mean, like, it's like, what can I say? With regards to house music in South Africa, it's kind of like it's a spiritual thing. It's
it is.
It's what we live on, right? So we are, just like I said earlier, vessels that are there to create platforms that are so needed. You know, there isn't any lack of talent, you know, or any lack of ambition in South Africa. It's actually more of lack of opportunities more than anything.
Let's talk about some of the collaborations that Bread4Soul has gone into partnership with, and how do you enhance that mission?
Collaborations, like, who will we collaborate with?
Teppo jeans.
Oh, Teppo jeans. Yeah, so...
Oh, Teppo jeans.
Teppo
Yes.
jeans.
Wow.
What else?
I mean, some of it's like things that we wouldn't want to promote, you know,
Yeah.
because it's
Okay.
a family
Yes.
show.
Okay.
Yes.
But what we're trying to do is use the platform that we have to see where can we align with, like which brands can we align with,
Right,
that seeing what we do as important, you know. So Teppo Jeans is one of the brands that we support a lot. We are friends of the brand, and we try and wear their stuff as much as we can,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
do.
just to really support local businesses. Because also at the end of the day, the event, it's really about us helping this issue of poverty and unemployment in South Africa, you know. Even though it's a one-day event, but the amount of people that we get to employ in that day really does go a long way, you know. So if we can just keep on growing this event, it can become a bigger vehicle for employment.
Yeah.
Just take us through a typical event. What goes on during that event?
A lot goes on.
I mean, the planning side or the actual
planning,
event?
yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
The planning side, from scouting venues to searching for vendors and contacting artists.
Suppliers.
It's just a lot, you know, a lot of work, you know, and the attendees are just like, they don't see that, you know, they just come to the event, this is very nice, but they don't know the back end part of it.
Right.
It's, it gets really hectic.
It
In
does
terms
get
of
very hectic.
contacting the artist, what's your selection criteria? Who do you look out for? What is it that you want from them?
Wow, that's a difficult question.
No, so I mean, we do. It's so difficult because also there's a lot of talent, you
Yes,
know. So
yeah.
Of course.
when you think about a lot of young artists wanting to perform on the stage, and then you have to curate the lineup so that firstly it's appealing to an audience, you know. So in order for us to sell tickets, but it also works out for the day itself, that the artist really kind of speaks to one another when you curate the lineup. So we've got a thing like we want to have as many female artists or DJs as
Yes.
possible.
Oh, yes.
And we always have somebody who's not from Johannesburg. So we'd invite a DJ or an artist who's from outside Johannesburg,
Okay.
And we also have a legend.
we'll
on
have
our
one
lineup.
legendary
Yes.
artist or DJ
Yes.
on the lineup.
Right.
We try to have as many producers,
Producers,
people who are actually making the music. So that's
so
the
cool.
criteria
Yeah.
that we go through.
This is actually so cool. So when's the next one? Want to share the event?
It's on the 31st of August
Okay.
at Constitution Hill.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then tickets?
There's about 20 tickets left. if I
20
have to be
tickets
honest.
left.
Yeah, yeah.
We're almost sold out.
So the show is almost sold out.
This is massive, Moses.
Yeah. So if you go on web tickets, search for Bread4Soul.
Okay.
Get your tickets there. I'm hoping that you'll be the lucky 20.
Because you know me and house music, man. So
You
Yeah,
need to be there.
they
But at
all
least
need to be
you
there.
deeply
At
spiritual,
least you know.
Because
you know
whenever I'm
people.
listening to house music, I just get lost in my own world. And you can connect with me there.
Yeah.
All right, lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you
us.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Great
you.
stuff. Well, that is a founder and co-founder of Bread4Soul House Music Royalty, Sir LSG, and DJ SoulDiva talking to us about starting Bread4Soul, taking place on the 31st of August.